It's that time of the year again. If you've been struggling with the pathetic habit of fapping, this is your time to put an end to it for good. If you have an urge to relapse, think about the millions of guys who'll succeed this year, who'll finally get control over their emotions instead of being controlled by it themselves. You can do it too. I know you can. But first, you must be honest with yourself. Do you struggle with keeping a streak for long? Do you find yourself relapsing only a few days or weeks after you pledge to change your ways? Do you always find yourself back in the same spot every time and hate yourself for it? Let me tell you, I understand what you're going through. Many men get stuck in that pathetic cycle and can't find a way to get out. Well, that changes today. I'm going to tell you the supreme strategy that'll allow you to Thanos snap this lame addiction out of your existence. The fact of the matter is, almost everyone possesses similar amounts of willpower. It's about how you utilize it that makes the difference. The key word today is transmutation, but we'll get into that in a minute. First, a little science about why we get addicted to things that destroy us in the first place. There was a study conducted in 1970 by an American psychologist, Dr. Bruce Alexander. What he did was place a few rats in isolated cages by themselves and gave them access to two different water containers. One was your normal drinking water, while the other had Coke mixed in it. It turned out, most of the lonely rats would prefer to drink the Coke-infused water until they overdosed and died. After the first results, he created another situation. He brought one massive cage, filled it with all sorts of rat entertainment, and then again, as a control, gave them access to both water containers, allowing them to choose their own drinks. This cage was like a rat theme park. The rats could be around each other, engage and mingle around, and even sleep with other rats. The results weren't the same. Turns out the majority of the rats actively preferred normal water over the Coke-infused one in this situation. The shocking contrast between the two scenarios was, not a single rat died by an overdose in the second case. From this study, you can understand human behavior a lot better too. Most of us already have most of our needs fulfilled. We have comfortable homes as shelter from the outside world. We have a great supply of food. We even have unlimited personal entertainment in the form of the internet. Despite all these things going for us today, the lack of just one thing drives us to seek escapes from our perfect reality. And that's lack of meaningful social interactions. When in your mind you feel lonely and alone, it's a desire that irritates you deeply. Humans by nature are social beings. We survive with the affection and attention from others. No matter how introverted you are, there are still those few bonds that you cherish deeply. If you feel like you don't have anybody, it'll make you feel unimportant and worthless, no matter what your accomplishments are. Brothers, when you can't stop fapping, you become like that rat in the empty cage. Since you don't have your social needs being met, you find escape in this weird addiction called fap, the act of touching yourself. As pathetic as it sounds, the only way to overcome this addiction, to master no fap and to win this November, is to change your surroundings and transmute the urges when they arise. You can't expect your willpower to keep you away from the Coke water when you have nothing else to do. It's going to give in, eventually. But what you can do is recognize all the things you actually have access to. You aren't a rat locked in a cage for an experiment. You can walk right out of your little incel room and choose to be somewhere better, like the human version of a rat park, called a park. Who would have thought, right? Whatever ditch you think you're stuck in, the solution is stepping out into the world and exposing yourself to new experiences. When you meet different people, get a little change in settings, you're bound to find yourself some real romance too. If you don't take this step of stepping out, if you don't go out of your comfort zone, getting rid of this addiction will seem impossible. The solution is simple. All the energy you use to waste stroking your little cactus boy down there, you need to transmute that into things that are positive. All that's great, but I have to tell you the truth about one thing in case you're mistaking it. I'm just clarifying it as I want to keep things honest around here. If you're participating in the challenge this year in hopes that it'll help you with your game with women, sorry brother, it's not going to do that. I'm just being real. It's not going to get you a girl automatically. Emphasis on the automatically. Allow me to explain. No FAP and no Nut November alone won't improve your social skills. You don't get a power-up when you reach day 30th, which automatically makes you a hit amongst girls. The only purpose no FAP serves is to clear your mental space, improve your self-esteem, and to give you more energy. It's then your job to utilize those perks and transmute them to carve out the life you want for yourself. Start using that extra energy in your tank you saved up in 2 weeks to build new, better habits. One of the best ways of improving your social life is to first improve yourself and your routine. For example, when you start working out and eating well, you'll see positive changes in your body, which will not only make you more attractive, but also boost your confidence in yourself. You'll find it a breeze to go out and engage with people and finally ask out that shorty you've been shying away from. You could also use that excess energy to build a habit of meditation, which will increase the clarity in your mind. You'll notice how your perception on life has changed. And this mental clarity then actually makes you more present during your everyday interactions, making you a better conversationalist, a better listener, and most importantly, a better man to be around. So there you have it, brothers. I've told you what you need to be up to this No Nut November, to not only overcome it, but to extract the most out of it. I'll warn you, there are going to be times you'll just want to scream, "Screw it," and touch yourself like a little loser. Those are the times you get to make a difference. I find it funny when guys go like I was doing so good until those cursed urges came around and had me relapse. Like, no, you weren't doing good because you failed when it was time to take an actual step forward. You weren't abstaining from anything, but just waiting for those feelings to come back for a chance to play with your little pickle. Keep me updated on your progress down in the comments below. With that said, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.